Wub wub wub. Hello everyone, Mr. Daydream here. Welcome to the show. I've been wanting to talk about this for quite some time. Now this goes without saying, but there exists all kinds of different genres of music in this world. Some we love, some we hate. But this is an interesting case. It's so weird trying to describe it. It's something that's really popular, but at the same time has become the lightning rod of hate among many people. And what genre is this? Well, there's really no point in building it up since it's in the title of this video. The topic for today is dubstep. Well, obviously there are going to be a lot of people out there who have no idea what dubstep is, and I don't blame you. It's one of those things you might hear kids talk about in public, and you're just left there thinking, what the heck are those kids talking about? I remembered how every now and then I would have someone ask me, what is dubstep? To which I would respond with, I don't know. But now I'm very familiar with it, so I'll try to simplify it. Dubstep is electronic music. You may recall me mentioning it in my Nightcore video. Yeah, I just realized Nightcore and dubstep seem to be the most popular genres of music on YouTube. It's pretty much everywhere you look. But unlike Nightcore, dubstep is more original. I mean, Nightcore just takes existing music, speeds them up, and gives them a higher pitch. That's it. Anyone can do it. So what does dubstep sound like? Well, it's kinda hard to explain. One of the many definitions of dubstep is... It is generally characterized by a slow tempo, repetitive low-key beats, heavy emphasis on wobble bass lines, and hard-hitting drum patterns. Modern dubstep is usually played at 140 BPM, beats per minute. You got that? Good, my job here is done. Bye-bye. Nah. Like most people, all that information went straight over your head. Oh, there it goes again. But fear not, there is a way to identify dubstep. It's the beat. I've listened to a ton of dubstep, and I've noticed an interesting pattern. It seems to be something that all dubstep tracks seem to have. So let's go over my method of classifying electronic music, shall we? For example, techno goes like this. Trance goes like this. Drum and bass goes like this. And finally, dubstep sounds like this. Notice the rhythm that beat makes? And that's what makes dubstep, dubstep. Hooray! We finally figured it out! This calls for celebration. Now I know that some hardcore fans and producers of dubstep music are gonna say something like, Mr. Daydream, you jerk! There's more to dubstep than just that! It's more complicated than you think! Look, I really don't care. I just like to listen to music is all. I have no interest in knowing the procedure behind it all, okay? I just want to show people an easier way to identify music. That's it. They don't need to know the entire blueprint. That's too much work, man. Well, obviously, there are other genres of electronic music that I haven't covered yet. Like, there's this one that's quite popular called house. House? That's a rather odd name for a genre, isn't it? What's next? Lamp? I wonder what that would sound like. I'll probably talk about it some other time, but for now, I'm just focusing on dubstep, so let's just go back on track on that, right? Now, I'm pretty sure most of y'all have heard of Skrillex, who is pretty much responsible for making dubstep as popular as it is. For some reason, there are tons of people who seem to think that he created dubstep. Well, no, he didn't. He only popularized it. Dubstep has been around for years before Skrillex came into the fray. Even the tracks from his oldest albums weren't dubstep at all. They were just electronic music. Quite good electronic music, I'd have to say. Dubstep has been around since the late 90s, and it originated from South London. Two parts of the name play a role. The dub part means taking other music and dubbing it over to create new music, kind of like a remix. Step is short for two-step garage, a genre that involves irregular beat patterns and pulse. Simple as that, right? Over the years, dubstep has changed quite a bit. It's a bit more louder and more regular, and it can get really crazy, and I mean really crazy. Another thing you may have heard of when it comes to dubstep are the words build up and drop. And you're probably thinking, what? Basically, a build up is when a segment in the track becomes more dramatic. It builds up tempo and creates excitement. It's a lot like in movies. You know, when the main character is about to deliver the final blow, the music becomes very intense and very exciting. Finally, there's the drop. The drop happens after the build-up. There's a brief halt or pause, then all of a sudden, the music becomes more intense. That's what a drop is. Some drops are simple and some drops are complicated, but other times they go completely out of control and sound like some chaotic mechanical monster. Ugh, it might be too much for the human soul to handle. I know I couldn't handle it the first time. You also have some drops that sound quite relaxing. But then you also have drops that sound like this. The heck is that? Also, keep in mind, a build-up and a drop are not exclusive to just dubstep. So don't go classifying songs as dubstep just because it has a build-up and drop. That's another misconception people seem to have, along with thinking that Skrillex created the dubstep genre. So keep that in mind next time. I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed when it comes to dubstep. The hate. Out of all the genres of music out there, dubstep seems to be the most hated out of them all. And I ask, why? The most common answer I've heard is, it's just noise. Well, couldn't the same thing be said for death metal? I mean, I never understood the appeal to that genre when the lyrics are practically screamed at your face. But nobody seemed to mind it at all. It's almost as if it's supposed to be rowdy and intense. But regardless, there are people out there who seem to enjoy it, so I guess I'm just one of those people who can't. But that's fine. There are other types of music out there for me to enjoy. As long as we can all enjoy music, that's all that really matters, right? Now, I know that some of y'all might be thinking, well, Mr. Daydream, what do you think about dubstep? Well, I actually like it. But it's not as good as trance. Trance is music for the soul. Dubstep is music for your wild side. Yeah, let's go with that. Dubstep is one of those things that you might not enjoy at first, but the more you listen to it, the more you start to enjoy it. So give it a chance and judge for yourself. It's that simple. It's almost as if your ears has to get used to it first. But who knows, you might genuinely not like it, and that's fine. I don't get why there are so many people out there that hate dubstep, but then again, any genre of music is bound to get some level of hate, but not the same level of hate as dubstep apparently has. It's probably because it's very popular. Those dratted hipsters thinking they're so cool just because they feel unique hating on something lots of people enjoy. Like, how about you quit that garbage philosophy and actually give constructive criticism on why you don't like it? Yeah, you know what? That would be a good idea. You can gain more respect that way, and we can finally understand how that mind of yours works. If there is one. I'm a bit savage today. Now, of course, there are a few things about dubstep that I personally don't like. Two things. First of all, music has to sound appealing in order to be enjoyed, obviously. But dubstep seems to have that exception where it can play as much noise as it can muster and classify that as music. That exception can only go so far. Most of the time it sounds fine, but how would you react when the track suddenly sounds like this? Is this acceptable? To make music that sounds like Satan's alarm clock? Oh, but it's dubstep, so it's perfectly fine. It can get away with anything. The second thing that bothers me about dubstep is the large number of subgenres it has. For example, there's chill step, drum step, wobble step, hard step, tech step, substep, death step, metal step, robo step, glitch step, filth step. This is too much to keep up. Why are there so many subgenres? Even the earliest forms of electronic music only had like 1 or 2, but dubstep has as many subgenres as there are stars in the sky. What's the point of these subgenres anyway? I mean, if a track sounds like dubstep, what's wrong with just calling it dubstep? Do we really need to create a whole new subgenre every time someone does a different take or a new style on dubstep? It would be like, oh yeah, sure, this track might sound exactly like dubstep, but it has this slight difference to the point to where it can be classified as its own little thing. Like, you know what's gonna happen? You're just gonna create more pointless arguments on the internet. It'll be like, I like this dubstep track, and then someone's gonna be like, oh, this isn't dubstep, this is drumstep, you idiot. Huge difference. Dubstep has this, and drumstep has this, and At this point, you might as well just say, I like this track, just so you can prevent some stupid argument from happening. Not to mention, there are a few occasions where these subgenres can be very misleading. For example, there's this one called darkstep, and despite what the name might imply, it doesn't sound like dubstep at all. It just sounds more like a darker version of drum and bass. What the heck? Do they just add step at the end of any genre just to make it popular? What's next? Cyberstep? Step? Waffle step? I feel like I'm losing my sanity. I should probably wrap this up. Overall, when it comes to electronic music, dubstep is an unusual beast when compared to any other EDM genre. But there are people who enjoy it, myself included. But it's not as good as trance. Yes, I know, I've already said that, but I feel like I need to clarify that as much as possible. If you don't like it, that's fine, I guess. I don't know, I'm not the creator of the genre. Why should I feel bad if you don't like it? If you don't love trance, on the other hand, I don't think we can be friends. Nah, just kidding. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope to see you again, and remember to go with the beat. Wub wub. Fadel!